This is a Pele Media podcast.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to our special Christmas episode today. I just want to let you know that at the very end of the show, we've got a special Christmas present from us to you. Listener and friend of the show, Brad Mendenhall, has actually written and performed a song specially made for Jurassic Park Minute. You might be familiar with the song that he performed called Give Me Just a Minute that we ran on the very end of Ghostbusters Minute. So if you were a fan of that, be sure to check it out. And even if you weren't a fan of it, be sure to check it out because it is our little Christmas present to you. Again, thank you for listening, and let's get on with the show.
Everybody's asleep now. It's just you and me down here in the living room. There's milk and cookies set up over there, as you can see, and we're gonna sit here all night and wait to see if Santa Claus comes down the chimney, okay? I say, while we're sitting here waiting for Santa Claus, why don't we go ahead and record an episode of Jurassic Park Minute? In fact, we can do minute number 49 of Jurassic Park Minute, which of course is the fan podcast that chronicles and overanalyzes the classic 1993 film Jurassic Park minute by minute. I'm Kyle.
I'm ready.
And of course, as you heard, we are down here in the living room waiting to see what Santa is going to bring us when he comes down the chimney. So are you excited about Christmas, Brady?
Yeah, let's do it.
I know you told me earlier that maybe we're a couple of days ahead of Christmas, or a day ahead of Christmas Eve, but you know what? I say forget it. It's just about the magic of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
We've got our tall glasses of eggnog here. We're going to have a great time talking about minute number 49, Jurassic Park, and what better way to do that than to jump right into minute number 49. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. In the previous minute, we saw Ian Malcolm continue his explanation of chaos theory to Ellie Sattler as Alan Grant jumped out of their moving tour vehicle. At minute number 49, we cut to John Hammond in the Jurassic Park Control Center. Alarms are going off. Hammond tells Ray to stop the program. Muldoon walks by, telling Hammond that he had suggested that they put locking mechanisms on the car doors. At 49:13, the camera pushes in on Dennis Nedry, who is sitting at his garbage-covered desk. We cut to a shot of Nedry's desktop, where he is watching a security camera pan past the embryo cold storage tank. The window is labeled VidNet Camera 13VC. The camera pans down to show a video feed of the East Dock. The camera cuts to a shot of Nedry watching the security feeds as the camera pans in on a Barbasol can. At 49:30, we cut to a shot of Tim chasing Grant down a hill. He is telling Grant about a book written by a guy named Backer, and how he said that dinosaurs were killed off by disease. Ellie asks Grant if he knows where they are going. Gennaro asks if anyone thinks that they shouldn't be out here. Tim tells Grant that Backer's book was much thicker than Grant's. Ellie tells Grant that his book was also fully illustrated. Lex trips on something, and Grant bends down to take her by the hand and help her up. At 49:50, Lex stands up but will not let go of Grant's hand. Tim is trying to get Grant's attention. At 49:58, Grant makes everyone halt as something can be heard bellowing off-screen. And thus ends minute number 49 of Jurassic Park. Okay, so a little bit, this scene actually serves a couple of purposes here. It continues the Dennis Nedry computer hacking and stealing of the embryo storyline, but it also kind of sets up the idea that, John Hammond is upset with the way the tour has ended. It's also kind of setting up that, as we're going to see here on Monday in minute number 50, that we see the Triceratops for the first time, that Grant and his group are kind of upset with the way that things have gone on the tour, and they're looking for something else. So what do you think the primary focus of this minute was? Is it more to drive the Nedry subplot home, or is it a little bit character building about Grant?
Well, throughout the movie, it's like I've said countless times, we're given these little reminders. One is, who Gennaro is and why the team is here when he's reminding Hammond, let's get something straight, John. This isn't just a weekend excursion. We get continual little reminders of what chaos theory is, so it's not just, thrown in our face all at once. This scene does a really good job of reminding us what Nedry's, whole thing and the whole place in this is. Mm-hmm. And it's done really well whenever we see the camera pans across the security, his computer monitors with the security camera footage on it. And it says very bluntly, one of them shows an image of the embryo cold storage unit. The video monitor right next to that has a boat, and then we push it on the Barbasol can. So it's very easily spelt out. Embryos, boat, this is how they're going to get there.
And it's great there's no dialogue to do that.
Yeah.
It's not like Nedry stroking his chin going like, how can I get this off the island? It's like, here's the three things you need to see. We're pushing, and it ends there. His last shot is that Barbasol can.
Exactly. I also love how you can hear this like generic technician jargon in the background. You hear some of the other employees talking about like it's like the stormtroopers in Star Wars who were talking about like
did you see the new model? Yeah,
it's the thing to see.
Yeah, in fact, I think Muldoon even says something about like, I told you we should put locking mechanisms on the doors. I'm pretty sure cars come with locking mechanisms on the doors pre-installed, but it's kind of the oversights and security here at the InGen theme parks are just I don't know how they get past insurance underwriters.
And that's the thing too. We also see that kind of in Hammond, his response to the whole thing, where he's just kind of throwing a fit. Stop the program, stop the tour program.
Yeah.
And over simple stuff like this that they overlooked. They're overlooking simple things and then the biggest things. And just imagine if those locking mechanisms were there when the T-Rex attacks.
It's like little chaos theory here. A little tiny thing like putting locking mechanisms on the door can lead to such horrible outcomes.
This is cool though because it gives our people, our protagonists, an opportunity to go see the dinosaurs on their own terms. These are dinosaur experts. They don't really want to be shown these things through fences. And we kind of need that like hands-on first experience. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, we've had the Brachiosaurus experience, the Baby Raptor, and now this. So they're kind of meeting all these dinosaurs on the right terms. It's interesting that their next encounter with one is not going to be on anyone's terms.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. It is a little bit of growth for Grant because and we also get to see the Lex thing where she has a crush on him, which never really goes anywhere after this.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Oh, by the way, would you like some more eggnog?
Oh, yeah.
Here, I'll pour you some. All right, yeah, it's really weird because she holds on to his hand, and earlier we saw her kind of like say, I should ride in the car with you, and she holds onto his hand, and there's a very strange scene coming up next week where she kind of watches Grant.
Yeah, it's very awkward.
It's very weird, and it doesn't go anywhere from there.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand the whole thing about Ellie kind of pushing it on him, like, hey, go tell him you want to ride in the car.
She would think
with
it's
him.
cute, yeah.
Yeah, there's that, and that could have been it. That could have been the whole thing.
Right.
But they say, and like, I mean, granted, where could you go with that? This isn't Lolita Park. So we've also got, so I mean, outside of that, it's really just more character building and moving things along. And I think the most important part of the minute is we also get the best glimpse of the control room that we've had so far. I mean, our camera goes from like the top left of the room all the way over to Nidri, his desk. And you get to see other employees walking through everything. So for one of the most pivotal locations in the whole movie, this is like our best opportunity to get familiar with it.
Yeah. So there's the thunderclap that happens that scares Gennaro. That's not in this minute. That comes next week, right?
Yeah,
okay. So we don't really get any more of the storm stuff, but I do feel like the ticking clock is starting to get wound up on Nidri also.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's watching the E-Stock camera. We've heard about this boat that's leaving at some point, and he does look. Even though they don't show Wayne Knight's face in this, when they do go, they show him off in the distance. He's by himself in that giant control room. Mm-hmm. He does seem like he's focused on something else. He's focused on his plan. Yeah, because
he's not running his mouth.
Yeah,
he's not looking all over the place, and he's just. Yeah,
we get the establishing shot of that cryo tank that he's going to be coming to, whenever he does finally go off to get his salty sweets or whatever it is he wanted to get. So, but yeah, you have anything else for this minute?
I do. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I think one of the funnier parts of the moment is when we cut back to Tim, who's running up alongside Grant, and he says, "So, like I was saying," and that like. The rest of that conversation happened like 30, 40 minutes ago. So I just think he's resuming his thought,
You ever do that? You just pick up on something like the next day and people for some reason are able to flow right back into conversation like that. If you're well, like if you say, I don't know, sometimes somebody will pick up something like 2 days later and I'll immediately know what they were talking about. So
So that's pretty funny. And then so what's wrong with having a book that's fully illustrated? I mean, come on.
Well, there's nothing wrong at all. I think, was she implying that it was a children's book?
Just probably not as intellectual, I guess, as the other guys. When I'm just kind of like, you know what, screw that. Like, I want to be able to have a visual aid with what I'm talking about. I guess Grant's book might have been a little bit more accessible to the layman as opposed to the backers, which is just going to be probably intended for people in that field already. So I don't know. I would have rather read Grant's.
When Grant's coming down the hill here and everybody's giving him crap, I always want him to turn around and go, "Hey, everybody," and just clap his hands and go, "Shut up! I know. Just get off my ass," and just walk off by himself. But I have a question for you about since Santa Claus is coming down this chimney here. Any minute we're gonna catch him on audio, stomping around here eating milk and cookies. We're gonna jump and grab his bag and pull a bunch of toys out. Did you ever get any Jurassic Park toys for Christmas?
I don't think I did.
Really, you never got anything for Christmas?
No, I mean I got them independently of that.
Yeah, what was your favorite? Since we're in the mood or like the season of like toys and stuff like that, of all the Jurassic Park toys you got, what do you think was the best one?
That I don't know, but I did have this little, to get off of your topic here, this project one time in school where we were all supposed to bring some kind of little diorama that was based on a book that we read. So I read this stupid book I read was like Dinosaurs A to Z or something. And so I just brought this massive box with all of the Jurassic Park dinosaur toys in it. And I won first place over this girl who made a working like fountain pump or something in her thing, which was like incredibly difficult.
Did she read like Midnight of the Cranes, a story of someone who like a little girl that died in Hiroshima and how she used to go out to the pump?
Sadako and the Thousand Paper Cranes.
Like that, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So something, yeah.
So something with some substance, and you were like, dinosaurs A to Z.
But all the kids were like, "Oh, cool Jurassic Park toys." So
did the kids vote on what was the number one?
which is stupid to put it in the hands of a child. But like,
I did a dinosaur diorama too when I was a kid, and I got these little I think they were lead or pewter little almost like D&D type guys, and I painted them, and my mom helped me put them together, and it was like I painted the dinosaurs, but she put grass down and stuff like that, and it was in a shoebox. But yeah, so we both had a history of doing dioramas. I think I don't know if I got first place or not. It was a good diorama though. Yeah. So well, but I can see you kind of stretching over there. I'm getting a little sleepy myself. I think while we're waiting here for Santa, I think we can just lay down here on the floor for a minute. But before we do that, I just want to mention real quick, we do have Patreon episodes coming out this weekend. We have our Best of 2016 Patreon episode is going to be dropping for our Patreon subscribers on Saturday, and then it will also be coming out to the general public on Sunday. You'll see that here in the feed itself. We're giving it a day early to our Patreon supporters, and then we're also getting something a little bit extra for Patreon supporters on Sunday. That'll be our Rogue One review. So you and Jamie and I sat down. We recorded our top 3 movies of 2016, our opinions on that. It was a real fun time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Came out really great. And then we also did a Rogue One review after that, which it was also going to be dropping on Sunday.
Full of spoilers.
Yes.
Full of spoilers.
Both of those are full of spoilers. So, maybe the top 3 of 2016, not quite as much. I wouldn't go into listen to that one yet if you haven't seen Rogue One, but by this point, only 5 people haven't seen it in the country.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, but that's how that goes. So, I'm just going to stretch out here for a minute and
let's do
by
this.
The fireplace. This eggnog's really getting in my stomach. Just pass out here. Brady, wake up! Look around. Santa came while we were sleeping.
Look at that.
Look at all these presents. He was here. They're everywhere. It's amazing. He is real. Merry Christmas.
When the rain pours down, get out of town. It's the lizards of thunder. The lightning strikes, hit the pipe. Next comes the lizards of thunder. It's the lizards of thunder. Lizards of thunder.
If you're near, have some fear. Lizards know no mercy. They're so wild, it's no wonder. They're the lizards of thunder. Lizards of thunder. Lizards of thunder.
Lizards of thunder. There's Kyle Crane, yeah, he's insane. For the lizards of thunder. His brother Brady, he's not afraid indeed of the lizards of thunder. The lizards of thunder. lizards, the thunder.